Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something very important in the world of pharmaceuticals and biotechnology: extractables and leachables testing, often called E&L testing. Specifically, we'll dive into the cost factors, what really drives the price, and how companies like yours can budget smartly. Let's get started. Whenever a new drug or medical device goes to market, it has to be safe. Not just the drug itself, but also the container and delivery system. That's where E&L testing comes in. But many companies are unsure about the costs. Why does one study cost more than another? Well, it's not random. There are clear factors that shape the pricing, and understanding them helps make smarter decisions. Think about this. A life-saving drug might be stored in a vial, syringe or patch. Over time, chemicals from that packaging could migrate into the medicine. That's a huge risk for patients. Regulatory bodies like the FDA and EMA know this, and that's why they require rigorous E&L testing. Without it, companies risk recalls, delays, and most importantly, patient safety. So yes, testing is critical, but the costs can vary. So, what actually influences the cost? There are several pieces to the puzzle: the type of container system, the scope of the study, the analytical techniques used, the number of components, regulatory expectations, timelines, method development, reporting requirements, quality assurance, and even the number of batches tested. Let's break them down. First, the container or delivery system. Testing a simple glass vial is very different from testing a pre-filled syringe or an inhaler. More complexity means more work and, naturally, higher costs. Then comes the scope. Extractable studies are done under exaggerated conditions, while leachables are tested in real-world stability studies. Sometimes tiny extractables end up being critical leachables, so the study design plays a big role in cost. Next up, techniques and components. Not every test requires every instrument. For example, GC-MS is great for volatile compounds, LC-MS for non-volatiles, ICP-MS for metals. Add in FTIR or UV-Vis for identification, and you've got a powerful toolkit. But more instruments mean more expense, and if your packaging system has multiple parts, like stoppers, adhesives or laminates, each one needs testing. More parts, more prep, more cost. Then we have regulations and timelines. If your study is headed for submission in the US, Europe or Canada, you'll need to meet standards like USP 1663, 1664 or ISO 10993. That requires more documentation and oversight. On top of that, if your project is urgent and needs a faster turnaround, labs may need extra shifts or parallel processing, which also impacts the budget. Now let's talk about method development and quality assurance. When you're working with a brand new material, there may not be a standard method available. Labs have to build and validate methods from scratch. That's resource intensive. On top of that, GMP-compliant labs must follow strict QA protocols, electronic audit trails, and Part 11 compliance. This ensures reliability, but adds to operational costs. So, how do you keep costs under control? Here are some smart strategies. Request tiered pricing to see different study levels. Start with extractables only before committing to full leachables. Use existing validated methods whenever possible. Bundle testing services to save across projects. And, most importantly, communicate your goals clearly at the start. This avoids unnecessary testing and saves time and money. At ResolveMass Laboratories, we understand that cost and quality both matter. That's why we offer flexible, tailored E&L testing services. with advanced instruments like LCMS, GCMS, and ICP-MS, plus compliance with USP, ISO, and ICH standards, we ensure that your data is accurate, reliable, and regulatory ready. Our team of scientists and regulatory experts is here to support you from preclinical to commercial stage. To wrap things up, understanding what drives the cost of E&L testing helps you make better decisions. From the container type to method development, every detail plays a role. And with the right partner, you don't just get reliable results, you also get cost efficiency. At ResolveMass, we're proud to deliver both. Thank you for joining us, and if you're ready to plan your next E&L study, we'd be happy to help.